How's it going, everyone? Matt from Backer Club here again with another creator interview. This time we have Jacob Wood from Woodies Clothing. He's a 16-time creator about to launch his 10th campaign, and we're going to ask him some questions today. How's it going, Jacob?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. We're really excited to have you on the show today, and I'm just going to jump right into the questions.
Thank you so much. Excited to, I don't think we've talked face to face, so this is really cool.
All right, so for someone brand new to the Woodies brand, can you give us a brief overview of it?
Yeah. So I'd say there are really two things that set us apart with apparel. So first is that our clothes are custom made. So they're individually cut, sewn, shipped to you. That said, because it's custom, we guarantee a perfect fit. So say, heaven forbid, you receive your pair of shorts or a suit or whatever else, and it doesn't fit perfectly, we'll have you send an email. We'll review some pictures, your feedback, send it to the sizing team, and we'll send you a complimentary remake. So that perfect fit, that's the first thing that sets us apart. And then the second thing, and this is really based on feedback from our Kickstarter audience or from our Kickstarter community, but we really focus on performance fabrics and features. So you got the perfect fit and performance fabrics and features. I'd say that's what kind of sets us apart, and that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean that perfect fit guarantee is just perfect there. I mean, not a whole lot of places will do that for you. I think
Yeah,
that's
for
really
sure.
what sets it apart.
Yeah, it's unique.
So, where did the inspiration for Woody's come from?
So this is a little bit more of a long-winded answer, but basically, out of college, I worked for Macy's department store in New York City as a buyer. So Macy's was a great place to start my career. I've always loved clothing. I've always loved fashion and entrepreneurship as well. So I knew it was only a matter of time before I went out on my own and did something in apparel. I was at Macy's for a couple years, didn't really like my boss, didn't really like what I was doing. So I was like, okay. And at the time, I wasn't married, didn't have kids. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to take a risk, now's the time to take a risk. Being at Macy's, obviously it's all about mass manufacturing. And I knew that whatever I started, it had to be a little more personal, a little more small batch. So yeah, that's kind of where my inspiration came from. But the thing I'll emphasize is that I always loved clothing, always loved entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like especially the part about your boss and working a job you don't like. That's like almost every
Yeah.
entrepreneurship story ever. Like, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
always born
definitely.
out of a hatred for something, and so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit about the new project that you're about to launch, the Unbound Performance Shorts?
Yeah, so this is a project of which I'm very excited. The team is very excited. So the Unbound Performance Shorts. Basically, yeah, I think it was maybe a year or so ago, we launched what we call the TechStream fabric. So it's a super technical mechanical stretch fabric. So it's lightweight, stretches like crazy, maintains its shape over time. It's water resistant. There are all these amazing features, and customers have loved the pants. They've loved the suit, and people have basically been begging us to launch shorts going into the summer. So
Yep.
we're like, okay, let's do it. And fun thing about this campaign as well, it's only going to be 10 days. So
Wow. Okay.
whereas we've done like 32 days
Yeah.
in the past, this is only 10 days. And I mean, basically, it's for the sole reason that we want to get these shorts out to backers
Yep.
as soon as possible. So we want, you back the project, you're going to be able to enjoy a lot of summer with these shorts.
Yeah, I know. Having like a 3-month wait time after campaign,
Yeah,
we would miss a lot of the summer. So yeah, that's great.
yeah.
And it's real short and sweet to the point, and then you guys are gonna get it in people's hands as quickly as possible. I love it.
Yeah, it's a fun concept for sure. It's like I said before, it's something that we've never really done.
Yeah. Wow. Pretty cool. So now can you talk about the environmental, like sustainability aspects that kind of the Woody's brand adheres to?
Yeah, so I would say, the biggest factor of sustainability with us is that we manufacture piece by piece as orders come in. So with Woodies, there's no such thing as mass manufacturing. We employ what we call micro manufacturing. So orders come in, we produce them, and in that regards, we cut down on waste dramatically. So that is for sure the most impactful sustainability effort we have. I think last time I checked, I forget how many billions of pounds of of textile or clothing waste we have,
Oh,
but it's massive.
yeah. Having individualized pieces. Yeah.
So that's one thing. Our packaging is also, it's really cool. So we call it a poly mailer, but it's like a plastic bag, but the bag is compostable.
Wow. Okay. Very cool.
So that's another thing. And then, we ship everything via DHL, which as far as I understand, there's a big emphasis on cutting down their carbon emissions.
Okay. Very cool. After 16 successful campaigns, why Kickstarter?
So Kickstarter is near and dear to us for sure. I think I was telling you before we hopped on this call, but we are fortunate enough to have a pretty large following or fan base on Kickstarter, but we launched our first project almost 10 years ago. So, we've kind of built this community brick by brick, and we love our Kickstarter backers. So many of the decisions we make and the projects we launch are highly influenced by our Kickstarter community. So, a lot of people talk about if you're building a brand, you have to have evangelists. And for us, our evangelists, it's the Kickstarter community, 100%. So we love it. And like I said, we were fortunate enough to launch a while back and have a substantial audience.
Yeah. I'm sure they definitely love you back, Jacob.
Well, yeah, and I mean certainly they love the discounts for sure.
Yeah. Any
Yeah, we feel like the incentives are definitely aligned because on our regular site, woodiesclothing.com, we never promote. We never have sales. So people know like, okay, if I'm gonna get, chinos or if I'm gonna get shorts or whatever else, and if I'm gonna get them at a discount, it has to be on Kickstarter.
Yep. Exactly that point is that, a lot of people don't believe that the Kickstarter discount is actually a discount, right? So it's good to hear that a
For
brand
sure.
actually like they're not going to find the same thing on your website 3 months later for
The
10%
same
cheaper than they
price.
paid for it. Yeah, like, so that's great to hear.
Oh yeah.
So I really like that aspect of it. Okay, so which campaign, after making all of these campaigns, was the hardest to produce and deliver, or maybe is?
So the first time we launched our performance suit, this is the original performance suit and blazer. At the time, it was, a brand new category that we'd never done before. And, especially you think about a blazer, there are so many working and moving parts in a blazer. The complexity of manufacturing that versus a pair of pants was significant. It was something going into production we were very careful with, very meticulous. And then of course sizing is
Yep. Very, very.
always difficult going into a new category. Luckily, customer or backers love that product, and we've continued to evolve that blazer as well, that blazer and suit as well. So yeah, we have a lot of happy backers that love their suits and have continued backing new iterations of the suit as well.
Awesome. Interesting. Okay, so another personal question here. Which project was your favorite and why? Maybe it's a future one.
Okay, good question. Good question. So it's interesting because I talked about our original performance suit. So we launched that, I think, 3 or so years ago. And the feedback we got from that original suit was the suit's awesome. We love it. But the fabric, it's a little heavier than I expected. So it doesn't wear well in, Singapore or Florida. Based on that feedback, we launched the Unbound Performance suit. So we had lighter weight, more unstructured construction, super stretchy and lighter weight fabric. But we've we wanted to create a suit that someone in Singapore, someone in Florida, someone in a super hot climate could basically live in outside or inside. And with that feedback, we are launching the Aeroflex Performance Blazer and suit. And basically it's ultra lightweight, super breathable, very stretchy. But the coolest thing about this fabric is you hold it up to you hold this blazer up to the light and you'll see thousands of almost microscopic holes in the fabric that allow for maximum breathability.
Yeah.
And you'd think with this construction that if you're wearing a white shirt underneath, you'd be able to see it, but like it's almost like magic. You can't see any undershirts or like dress shirts under this fabric. So it's hyper breathable, but at the same time, like it just from far away, it just looks like a regular suit. And it's only upon very close inspection up to the light that you see these microscopic holes.
Yeah, you hear that, guys? It's a Backer Club exclusive there. Sneak peek.
Yeah, yeah, totally. 100%.
It sounds awesome, Jacob. We can't wait to
Yeah,
see it. I'm sure it'll will help you get it out there to all the people on Kickstarter as well.
100%.
Awesome. So moving on, what will the new tariffs in the US affect this project and any maybe future ones?
So the funny thing is, and I don't know if other people you've talked to have said this, but we have no idea. We have no idea long term. In the short term, and when I say short term, I mean in the following month to 8 months, my belief is that we're totally fine and that tariffs will not affect us. That said, we manufacture in Southeast Asia. We don't manufacture anything in China. So, we were very fortunate in that regard. And import, because our goods are custom made, we import to the US via de minimis shipping. So basically goods valued under $800 come into the country, come into the USA tariff free. So Trump has removed those exceptions for China and Hong Kong, but that de minimis exception has stayed in place for all other countries.
Interesting.
So that's where I say like, okay, in the near term, we're good and we're very, very fortunate. But long term,
You have no idea.
no one has any idea. No one has any idea. Nobody's safe.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've done enough stuff and you seem super knowledgeable on the topic. I'm sure you'll work with backers if something
Yeah,
extreme does
100%.
happen
Yeah,
to make it fair for
definitely.
everyone. So
Yep. Yep. Definitely.
awesome.
Yeah, echoing what you said. If you were to back any of our projects, we're very transparent with communication. And generally speaking, even with tariffs, we'd figure something out
Yeah.
to where our backers would be very happy.
Yes, awesome. That was glad. I'm glad. Good to hear. All right. So now, can you give us a overview of kind of the team and or partners you have for the Woodies brand? Like, how many people are kind of behind the scenes here?
There's a lot, but at the same time, there's very little. So we try to be as lean as possible as an organization, and that's really benefited us. That said, obviously there's me, I'm the owner. I have two small investors, so they're fantastic. I love working with them. But then we have our customer service team, which is there are two people doing customer service, and then we have our shipping team. But maybe my favorite is production. Like, if you were to buy something mass market, there's many hundreds of people in a factory, none of which, whereas for me, we work with a very, I don't want to say small because it's not small, but, we work with a team of 18 tailors.
Wow. Okay.
And I know each one of them by name.
Wow.
And when I go to our facilities, I'm talking with them, I'm
Yeah.
with them, and we celebrate birthdays and everything else. So it's very unique in that sense and very cool as well that I can say like, yeah, I know the manufacturing team really well.
Yeah, that's great. And it allows you to have a little bit more like an interaction with them that allows you to get the quality of product that you want
Yeah.
exactly how you want it without having to continuously iterate back and forth over long periods of time and distances. So, yeah, it's great to hear that you have a
Yeah.
perfect partnership like that.
Yeah. In fact, I'm really excited. I'm heading over to Southeast Asia with my family. We're going
Oh, nice.
in July. So I'll introduce the whole family
Yeah.
to the production
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So, lastly but not least, is there anything that you would like to say directly to the backers?
I think first and foremost, a sincere thank you. Thank you from the Woodies team. I say this with complete sincerity that first, we're very grateful for you. And second, if you're not part of the team yet, we'd love to have you. And third is that so many, like I said before, so many of the decisions we make, so many of the future project launches we launch, so many of these things, they're influenced by our backers. So we're very close to the Kickstarter with the Kickstarter community. We love to hear from you guys. And if you're not part of the Woodies team yet, we'd love to have you on board.
Awesome. So just to kind of like wrap that in, what is the best way that, because you guys do take people's feedback for the backer community like very seriously, where is the best place for them to express their feedback?
I'd just say direct emails.
Okay.
So direct emails. I mean, our customer service team is awesome and very engaging. So if you have any feedback, if you have any thoughts, send an email to help@woodiesclothing.com.
Thanks a lot, Jacob, for coming on the show today. We were glad to have you here. You answered all of our questions. It was an amazing interview. We hope maybe you'll come on again. We're excited to see all the projects that you're going to produce in the future. And
Definitely stuff in the pipeline for sure.
awesome.
Always something. Thank you so much for having me, Matt.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jacob. Take care.
All righty. Have a good one.
You too.